You can tell yourself you're tired, or you can tell yourself you're going to go out there.
After a couple of difficult games, critics were already celebrating the idea that Caitlin Clark was cooling off. They focused on her missed clutch free throws and started questioning whether she could remain in the MVP conversation. Then came a challenging back-to-back road game at the end of a brutal 5-game road trip, making everyone wonder how Clark would respond. Adding even more drama, the Fever faced the Sky and DiJonai Carrington, who had previously made headlines after being ejected for the WWE-style takedown of Sophie Cunningham. Carrington had clearly circled this matchup on her calendar, but her hope for statement game didn't exactly unfold as planned.
DiJonai, you circled this date, DiJonai. You said 8/23 was the day, DiJonai. Well, unfortunately for you, Caitlin Clark circled that date as well.
This night belonged to Caitlin Clark, who delivered a vintage performance, setting personal bests, making WNBA history, and reminding everyone why she remains firmly in the MVP conversation. After a few difficult games, Clark looked completely locked in from the opening tip. She immediately got involved, finding Kelsey Mitchell with a smooth bounce pass before knocking down her first three-pointer of the night. Clark continued attacking, using her quickness and footwork to create space and score with confidence. When she wasn't putting points on the board, she was picking apart the Chicago defense with pinpoint passes to her teammates. Mitchell returned the favor by finding Clark for another three, and by the end of the first quarter, Clark already had 8 points and 4 assists. The intensity picked up in the second quarter when DiJonai Carrington fouled Clark and then appeared to accuse her of embellishing the contact. Clark didn't let the exchange distract her. Instead, she answered the best way she knows how, by making shots. Less than a minute later, she created separation with a step-back three that sent Carrington scrambling and immediately shifted the momentum. Clark was clearly feeling it, and Chicago knew they were in trouble. Every time defenders gave her even a little room, she punished them. When 3 defenders collapsed toward her, Clark simply found the open teammate, including one ridiculous behind-the-back pass that showed just how creative she was feeling. She entered halftime with 18 points, 6 assists, and 3 made threes. Yet the Fever still trailed by 1. Considering this was the second game of a back-to-back at the end of a brutal 5-game road trip, Indiana desperately needed someone to take control. Clark answered that call. Coming out of halftime, she continued drawing defenders toward her and creating open looks for teammates, including Lexi Hull, who knocked down a 3 and later became emotional discussing her performance. From there, the Fever started taking over. Clark hit another 3, then buried another that pushed Indiana's lead to double digits. Chicago simply couldn't afford to leave her open, but that's exactly what kept happening. Clark was reading the defense perfectly, attacking every mistake and turning defensive attention into easy opportunities for the Fever. She eventually reached 29 points and added another assist, bringing her total to 8. Then came the historic moment. Clark knocked down her 8th three-pointer of the game, setting a new career high from beyond the arc. She wasn't finished either. With her 10th assist, Clark completed a spectacular double-double. The Fever exploded for 30 points in the fourth quarter and pulled away for a convincing victory, finally putting an end to their recent struggles. It was exactly the kind of performance Indiana needed before heading into a 4-day break. The win should provide a major boost to team morale after several tough games, but there was no question about the headline. Caitlin Clark was the difference maker, controlling the game with her scoring, passing, confidence, and ability to command defensive attention. It was a statement performance from a player who looked every bit like an MVP contender.
But Caitlin Clark backed up her talk. She said no excuses about the schedule, and then she went out there and showed out. She went out there and dominated. Not only did she hit all those threes, but she orchestrated. She was dishing it out, especially to Michaela Timpson early, drawing defenders, hitting her teammates, hitting from deep. And then once Kelsey Mitchell joined the party in the second half, it was a wrap.
Caitlin erupted for 37 points, 10 assists, and 8 threes, delivering a career-best performance she seemed destined to produce.
When did you know tonight was going to be a good night for you? Before the game started. You can ask Coach Steph. I said it's going to be one of those nights.
Even after Caitlin warned Stephanie White she was feeling it, the coach could only watch in amazement as the performance unfolded.
Fourth quarter, 30-13. Woo! 30-13. C and Kels, my God.
Great.
It's hard to be shocked by Caitlyn's performance when you look at the body of work she's already putting together. She now has 5 regular season games with at least 30 points and 10 assists, while the rest of the WNBA has only 4 combined. She's also the only WNBA player with multiple games featuring 35-plus points and 10-plus assists. At this pace, she could completely rewrite the record for double-doubles by a guard. Kelsey Mitchell also deserves plenty of credit after dropping 30 points, including 6 threes, while adding 4 assists. The connection between Kelsey and Caitlyn continues to make history, as they now have the most 30-point games by a duo in WNBA history. Mitchell also extended her incredible streak to 23 consecutive games with at least 20 points, while setting the record for most points in a season by a guard. That consistency has been remarkable. And then there's Lexie Hull, who deserves some recognition too. After a difficult year, she contributed 14 points and looked visibly emotional afterward. You could tell those points meant something to her, making this victory even more meaningful for the Fever.
I mean, it's all about staying ready, getting the opportunity, getting open looks, knocking them down. I think that's something that all of our guards, all of our players really just take pride in. Is you never know when your night's going to come, you never know when you're going to get open looks, but being confident and ready to knock them down. And I'm just happy with how it turned out tonight.
As for DiJonai Carrington's supposed revenge game, it didn't exactly go as planned. She finished with just 7 points on 3 of 11 shooting and failed to get into Caitlyn's head. Ironically, her pre-game post seemed accurate because Clark hit 8 threes and the Fever won by 23. Meanwhile, JC Sheldon is now 0 for 14 against Clark across college and the WNBA. That's a rough matchup record, and Chicago had plenty to think about afterward.
This may have felt a little bit like an away game. You've not been accustomed to that before here, anyways, maybe at the United Center, but you've got a long stretch of actual away games coming up. Does that kind of mentally prepare you for that?
The critics probably aren't going anywhere. A 37-point double-double should be universally recognized as an outstanding performance, yet some still find ways to minimize it. One example came from Cindy Brunson, who argued that Paige Bucher's 32-point performance against Seattle was more impressive. That ignores the context of Clark's night, especially the fact that she had 29 points and 8 assists through 3 quarters while the game was still within 6 points. At that stage, she was controlling the matchup and driving Indiana's offense. Whether the criticism comes from genuine bias or simple engagement bait, it doesn't change the result. The Fever won, Clark dominated, Kelsey continued her incredible run, KK contributed, and Lexie finally found her rhythm.